My name is Dimitra Fimi. I'm a lecturer in fantasy and children's literature at the University of Glasgow. The last few years I've been working on J.R.R. Tolkien, on children's fantasy. I'm quite interested in the way that fantasy interacts with myth, legend and folk tales and the oral tradition. My keynote for this Congress was really about the different ways in which fantasy literature sort of stretches or challenges our understandings of space and time. And I suppose I was trying to think of concepts that cut across sciences and the humanities really, and space and time are conceptualized in different ways, but they're part of our everyday experience as well. So a lot of the ways I was thinking about that was in terms of how fantasy engages with the national past or the cultural past, or sometimes even the universal past. So how it interacts with ancient mythologies, for example, or the medieval world, or even with trying to imagine a time before we have any historical or written records at all. And I suppose another way of thinking about it was about personal time. So the sense of a person's passage, through life, and this idea of finite time and death. So I was talking a lot about how fantasy literature seems to be again and again coming back to the question of death and how we deal with that, how we live with it, and how we can imagine creatures that might not die or might live forever, and how that would work. Or at the same time, what are the morals or the ethics of pursuing immortality or deathlessness in that respect. It's great to be part of this conference, mainly because it is truly multidisciplinary. It brings together people from a number of different disciplines. In my work, in my research, the last few years, I've been working more and more with scientists, and it is a great opportunity to be able to address an audience that is not just my peers within literature or even just the humanities, but talk to people who are working with architecture or mathematics, and try to think, where are the areas where we can actually talk the same language and understand concepts and cross-fertilize each other's ideas. So it's absolutely great to be here, and I think it's a great initiative.